Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where I'm recording later than usual. What sort of interesting things have been going on in my life? I would say, I've mentioned ages ago that I backed over the Root Homelander campaign. I had small updates here and there, not really much, because nothing really happened, except for, a while back, apparently there was an error which affected 2% for backers from the UK, which I was included in. Because, wait, hold on, I'm talking about this. Good evening everyone, I'm here with a late night broadcast, hope you can make it through this. Right now it's 12:20 AM on what should be Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. While I quickly figure out what on earth we're going to talk about next. Oh, Mount Fuji, probably. Anyway, so just to sort of finish off this conversation, I backed Kickstarter and I backed a tier which basically is an all-out tier, which is like it gives you a copy of every single expansion which exists so far. And I was like, wow, I mean, I could buy this. Like, I knew like Root is my favorite. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's my favorite board game to play, but it's definitely my favorite board game by design. This is Tank and that's Piper. Wait, Tank used to live on this island. You're Piper, right? Yeah. It's so awesome we get old villages again. I actually completely forgot Tank used to be here. Generally, it must have been like 5 years ago or something. But yes, I was like, I know it. Like, Root is my favorite designed game. How much do I love playing it? I don't know. I think it's interesting. I haven't played it enough to really say. I think I played like 3 or 4 games maybe. But I love its concept, I love its design. So I was like, I know I'm going to buy all these Root expansions eventually, and if I buy them in this Homelander bundle, it's like half the price, I think, than it would be buying them all individually or something. I don't know, it was an insane savings, so I was like, I might as well do this, in my opinion. So I did, and then like didn't hear anything for ages. Obviously they're developing a new thing or whatever, I'm not really keeping up with it. And then they later sent out a thing being like, okay, all the UK ones, everyone should have the stuff, like the new expansion by now. And then obviously a lot of people in the UK went, huh? I didn't do it as well because I found out about it like way later. And then they were like, whoops, there was an error. It turns out 2% of the orders, basically if you had things which were not the Homeland expansion, weren't fulfilled as expected. So to be fair, they rectified it very quickly, and it was while I was in Japan, I think. The Homeland expansion came, and it also came with a copy of Root. And then only very recently, like a couple of days ago, I think it was actually this weekend, the rest of it arrived, which contained all the other expansions, including the base Root game again. So I don't know if this was intentional. I can't imagine it would be, because I looked at the Kickstarter and it seems like I should have only gotten one, but I now have 2 base copies of Root. Which is crazy because I used to have 1 base copy which I gave to some of my friends because I was like, oh, the Kickstarter expansions are coming back soon, I'll give it to you, and I'll get like my new one. And then yeah, now I've gotten 2 more, so now I can give out another one, I guess, to someone. I don't know who I give it to because again, like I only played with one other person outside of this group, but who knows? I'm just gonna keep it otherwise. But it really is a lot. Root has a lot of expansions, and I love thinking about the design. At some point, I think it'd be fun to design my own faction, despite the fact I don't know the game well. But yeah, it's all coming, so I've sorted that out now. That's good fun. Yeah, I don't really think I have anything else to say gacha-wise. I don't think so. Just sort of keeping on. So I guess the next thing I'll talk about is, well, okay, it's going to be sort of a grab bag again of topics, because I'm not sure if all of these can fit in their own video, but I can try. But Mount Fuji, that is, well, essentially what we did is after Disneyland and after we went to the Firefly Garden, we drove to Izu, which was kind of cool because I was actually quite excited for this because I was like, I've not been to Izu before. A lot of this other stuff in Japan, like Tokyo and Kyoto, Osaka, I've done all the big stuff before, but I've not done this. So I was like, absolutely, let's do this. As I say, I think it's really interesting to do things as suggested. Like, again, I basically made none of the itinerary, so a lot of it was suggested by friends, and they obviously have different motivations than I would do, because I mean, I've done 2 trips to Japan of my own itinerary, of exactly what I wanted to do. So this is a nice way to sort of like, you know, push your own boundaries. Not push boundaries, but try something new is perhaps a better way to put it. And Izu is definitely not something I would have considered, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then the things that we did that day, I probably wouldn't have chosen to do either. So I'm glad I did it because it's very interesting. Well, Mount Fuji I probably would have chosen to do, you know, go see. We didn't go to the further, but we saw it in the distance, essentially. Mount Fuji is a cool mountain. I mean, it is a mountain at the end of the day. But there's only so much spectacle. I guess if you've seen one mountain, you've kind of seen them all. It is a very pretty looking mountain, I think. Like, it's a very scenic, photogenic mountain compared to a lot of other mountains. So no wonder it's iconic. I will say that I've been like somewhat close to Mount Fuji. Like, I never climbed Mount Fuji, but I went to the lake. I've walked around the lake, which is near Mount Fuji, or the one near Fuji Q. Hold on, I need to see where it is now. How close is it to Mount Fuji? Because I did it on the first time I went to Japan. So yeah, Fuji Q's here. Where's Mount Fuji? Mount Fuji is over there. So I think we went to either Lake Kawaguchi. That can't be right. That's way too far away. I saw we went to a really small lake nearby. Did we genuinely go to Mount Kawaguchi? Maybe. How long does it take to get there? Oh, it's only 10 minutes. By car. It's a 1 hour walk, but I don't think we walked for 1 hour. Maybe we took a bus. I don't remember. I swear we went to like a very small, like little pond thing, and we saw Mount Fuji on the other side of it. But I don't really see another lake nearby, so I think it must have been that one. Anyway, no point. So let me think. So if we went to Izu, Mount Fuji were probably like down here or something. So yeah, not as close as I was on my first trip, but that's not the point. The point is, it was something completely different, and it was very, very interesting. So we're basically on a road trip and thing. We stopped off at a couple of places, and yeah, we saw Mount Fuji. It wasn't really like the thing we saw for most of the trip, but one of the major things we did is we went to. So this is, I would say, 100%. I would never have chosen to do this on my Japan trip. I'm glad I did it because it's very weird, and it's very unique. And that's exactly the sort of thing where I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a try. Like, I think the reason I wouldn't choose it is because literally it would never cross my mind to even think about wanting to do something like this. But my friend, I think the motivation was like my friend wanted to do some like abandoned building exploring. And my perspective on that is like, absolutely not, I'm not doing it. Well, like maybe from the outside, like part of me, it's like, that sounds fun, that sounds thrill seeking, but also a lot of me is also like, that sounds kind of like irresponsible, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not sure the thrill I'd get from it would be worth it necessarily. Not because it's like spooky, but I also think it might just be a little bit uninteresting, to be honest, and a little bit dangerous from a health and safety perspective. But I also, you know, you might not agree, which is totally fair. You know, people have different opinions for a reason. So anyway, long and short, is the fact that it was an interesting thing that we did do. We didn't go to an abandoned building. We went to a museum. I can't remember what it was called. I just remember it was described as like the weird museum to me. And to be fair, it was kind of a weird museum. Like, did someone take a picture of what it was called? Like, they gave us a business card of it as well, but I didn't keep it. It genuinely was one of the strangest things. I've seen. Like, I had no idea what to expect coming into it. Oh, because it was something called like Weird Wonderland or something museum. Maboroshi, that's it. Maboroshi, which I looked up and it means like weird or something. No, it means like, no, it means illusion, that's it. Maboroshi Museum, Japan. Abandoned Kanzai. Maboroshi Hakurankai. There we go. That's what it's called. It's a very strange place, I would say. It definitely has like abandoned place vibes, but it certainly felt like, you know, a bit more reasonable than breaking and entering into like a abandoned building or something. I don't know how else to describe it, except for it's just an extremely strange collection of a museum of, I don't know, strange, weird things, to be honest. Like, it kind of feels like you're walking through an abandoned building of a person with the most elective collection ever. There's a lot of very interesting themes, shall I say, going around through the museum. I found it fascinating. I think some of the things were generally pretty cool. Oh yeah, like, I completely forgot, it was just this absolutely enormous, two enormous statues, like one of, I don't even know who this is, but like some ancient Japanese royal or something, and then another one of this giant muscly horse and giant muscly bull as well. It was just so strange. And then everything has a very sort of dilapidated feel, you know, like imagine toys in like the attic sort of feel is probably how I'd describe it. It was, I would say, a surprising amount of it was quite erotically charged is probably how I describe it. So I don't know, your marriage may vary. I probably wouldn't take kids there, but we did actually see the family there who took kids there, so I don't know. I guess you can kind of do what you want, to be honest. But yeah, but there was just so many rooms set up of just like themes about things like this. It was a cutesy room or something which had a load of like cute like Hello Kitty toys or something in it. Yeah, I completely forgot. I took a photo of it. Okay, it was like a red light room or something, and I mean you can guess as much as whatever that means. It was just such a strange, bizarre experience, and definitely something I never would have ever chosen to do. Am I glad I did it? I think so. Like, glad in a sense of like, what an interesting curiosity. But I wouldn't say I was like, wow, this is like the coolest thing ever. I was just kind of like, huh, this is strange. It's like, it's almost seeing like into a different portal, a life experience or a way of living that I didn't even know could be an option, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm impressed. Like, the person who runs it has like a YouTube channel, I think. Let me see if I can find it, because YouTube. Is this it? Maboroshi Hakaranai? 10 years ago. Well, I mean, there's certainly about it. No, there's the most horrible place in Japan. No, there's the person who runs it has like their own YouTube channel for it. But yeah, I don't remember. I think my friend said they saw it like in a YouTube video or something. I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. They told me, and I was like, huh. Like, maybe it was like a YouTube video of like the weirdest things to be seen. Is this it? Yeah, the person who owns it is just like some person who. Is this it? No, that's not the person. Sarah-chan, that's right. Is this it? Maboroshi Sarah. Okay, here we go. Yeah. This is the person who runs it. Maboroshi Sarah-chan Neru. I think this is the YouTube channel link. I don't really know much about it. Let's see. Let's Google Translate it. Just talks about the daily expo life. I think it's cool, but it's well documented, I suppose. Look at all these different things. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. It's very strange. You can look it up yourself, and you might be like, "This is odd," and that's probably what you get. But it's like a cool odd, you know. I think it's a taste of what exploring an abandoned building must be like, but you know, without the risk of stepping on a floorboard and like everything collapsing underneath you, or needing to get like a tetanus shot or something, which is, you know, probably not the average experience exploring an abandoned building, but certainly the one which I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not sure the juice is worth a squeeze, you know, in that case. And right afterwards, we went on a pit stop somewhere. I had a ramen. I forgot what it's called. It's called like soza. No, zaramen or something. It's a ramen which I'll be honest, I did it wrong. because I didn't know what it was. Suzan ramen? So yeah, no, I can't remember. It's a ramen which is like cold noodles, and then you have like a little dipping pot of like soy sauce and wasabi. You sort of mix in. You take the noodles, you dip it in the pot, and you eat it. But it looked like I was eating a massive bowl of ramen. Or the way it was structured. Anyway, I did it wrong because I poured the soy sauce over the ramen because I was like, oh, that's what it must be like. And this must be a bowl to catch because it was on like a bamboo grate thing. I was like, this must be a bowl to catch the soy sauce. I was completely wrong. That was not a bowl. It was literally a prop-up stand, and I was like, whoops. Oh yeah, then we went to a wasabi farm, which again is something I would never choose to do because I'm like, I don't care that much about wasabi. Did I enjoy it as much as my friend who cares about wasabi? No, of course not. Like, duh. But did I find it interesting? Yeah, it was a unique experience. And oh, and the next stuff up, that definitely gets to send video that's about the onsen sort of things. But yeah, it's just such a grab bag of weird, wacky, wonderful, interesting sort of things. Yeah, would I recommend you go? I think you can judge yourself if this is your kind of thing. You should check it out or not. I would say certainly strange. But I'm glad I went just to even experience it whatsoever. Oh yeah, and I remember like at the end there was a load of different like sort of scenes set up of like mannequins enacting out like really weird things. It was like an innocuous room, like a classroom or something, and then just wild stuff happening in there. Oh yeah, my friend took a photo. Like I can't even describe what's going on in here. There's like a teacher with like a massive bushy beard writing at a blackboard. Then there's like a guy who's dressed up in like, what's that sumo thing called, with like a towel over his head crawling at him. There's a guy like falling over and like doing the splits or something over here. I don't know how to describe any of it. Like some of it has like a sort of lovely charm, and some of it is like, this is something from a horror game, which I think is kind of the intention, to be honest. Anyway, on that note, I guess I'll round this episode off here, huh? So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time, bye bye for now.